When the kidnappers forced Adrian to choose between me and his childhood sweetheart Clara, he chose me. But I didn't go with him. Because in my previous life, I already knew he would regret it. And he did. The kidnappers humiliated Clara. They tied her up, they took degrading photos of her, and that same night, she went home and slit her wrists. Adrian pretended not to care. He went through with our wedding, as planned. But afterward, he made my life a living hell. That's when I realized, he only married me to punish me. To trap me in guilt over Clara's death. So this time around, I swore to myself, I wouldn't make the same mistake. I remember it so clearly. When I woke up again, it was like déjà vu. The kidnappers were there, a knife pressed against my throat, and another pressed against Clara's. They demanded Adrian choose. His eyes flickered between us, back and forth. And after an agonizing pause, he chose me again. He reached out his hand, but I shook my head. Adrian, save Clara first. And for a moment, I saw it. Relief flash across his face. Elena, you're my fiancée. I should save you first. But since you insist, don't blame me. He grabbed Clara and ran. As quickly as he could. Terrified. I might change my mind. But me. Unlike him. I wasn't someone who made choices, only to regret them later. Because I remembered what happened in my previous life. Back then, when the ransom was raised at the very last moment. Adrian was forced to choose me. And while the money was being gathered, Clara suffered. The kidnappers photographed her, humiliated her, and almost assaulted her, before the police stormed in. The worst didn't happen. But still, the damage was done. Clara's dignity was gone. And that night, she ended her life. Adrian showed no grief. He calmly arranged her funeral, handed her family a large sum of money, and still insisted our wedding would go on. Elena, marrying you was already planned. We can't let outsiders affect that. But Clara wasn't an outsider to him. I know that now. He mourned her, for 7 years. Even while he tormented me, every single day. So this time, I wasn't going to let myself be trapped again. When I was left behind with the kidnappers, I started planning my escape. I remembered something. In my past life, the kidnappers once tried to hide near an auto repair shop. And the mechanics there, tough, sharp men, had fought back fiercely. The kidnappers had to retreat. Now, by some twist of fate, they stopped near the same shop again. The driver wasn't paying attention. And in that moment, I bit down on the inside door handle, shoved it open, and bolted. My heart was racing. My legs were on fire. But I knew my only chance was to reach that repair shop. The place was loud. Men shouting, metal clanging, the smell of oil heavy in the air. And then, I saw him. The young owner. Sharp features, steady eyes, and this calm strength that seemed to radiate off him. I ran straight for him. But in my panic, I collided into him, and we both went tumbling to the floor. I'm sorry, I blurted out, trembling. Please, please save me. His brows furrowed. But in the next instant, he pulled me into his arms and rolled us aside. A chair came crashing down, right where we'd been lying. If not for him, I would have been badly hurt. The kidnappers had noticed me escape. The standoff inside the shop was growing tense. Shaking. I whispered to him, I'll do anything, if you save me. He didn't answer. Not right away. He just stared, cold and steady, at the kidnappers. One of his men muttered, Lucas, better not get involved. And that's when I knew his name. Lucas. The kidnapper boss called me over again. His voice sharp. This was the third time. I hesitated. I was about to move. But then, a firm hand landed on my shoulder. "She's under my protection today," Lucas declared. And right then, the roar of motorcycles echoed outside. Lucas's lips curved into a confident smile. "My backup's here." The kidnappers cursed under their breath. But they didn't dare stay. They left, glaring at me as they went. I was still shaking, as Lucas cut the ropes on my wrists. "I'm Elena," I whispered. "Thank you." I tried to offer my hand, but he didn't take it. His eyes stayed locked on the rope burns on my skin. "Let me treat that," he said. I shook my head. "It's nothing." "Didn't you just say you'd do anything if I asked?" he countered. Before I could answer, he sat me down. Pulled out a first aid kit. "This might hurt a little," he warned. I bit my lip, as he carefully bandaged me. His touch was steady, gentle. And for the first time, I felt something warm spread through my chest. No one had ever cared for me like that before. When he was done, he asked, "Where do you live?" "I'll take you home." But I didn't want to go home. My parents, always too busy to care. And Adrian, I suspected, he'd been reborn too. Only this time, eager to live happily with Clara. As for me, I wanted no part of him. So I looked at Lucas and softly pleaded, "Could I stay with you, just for a few days?" He leaned in, his gaze sharp, almost teasing. "Careful, young lady. If you keep asking me that way, I might just take you seriously." The faint scent of him filled the air. Fresh, warm. My throat tightened. I swallowed nervously, about to reply. But then, a familiar voice cut through the air behind us. "What are you two doing?" The sound froze me in place. It slid down my spine, like ice water. I turned slowly. And there he was. Adrian. Standing at the edge of the bay, under the buzzing lights. His shirt crisp, sleeves rolled neatly. His hair windswept, as if he'd run all the way here. And in that moment, my heart clenched. Because I knew nothing in this life was going to be simple.